Greetings to you all, dear friends. Today we dive into an enlightening discussion on the biblical perspective of tithes and offerings. You ever wondered what tithing is all about, or why it's talked about so often in a faith-based context? Well, let's take a journey back to the book of Genesis, specifically chapter 14, verse 20. Here we find the first recorded instance of tithing, where Abraham, moved by faith and obedience, gave a tenth of his spoils to Melchizedek. This was not a command, but a spontaneous act of grateful acknowledgement of God's mercy and goodness. Tithing, therefore, is not merely an act of giving, but rather it's a profound expression of our faith in God and our gratitude for His blessings. It's about honoring God with what we have, acknowledging that all we possess comes from Him. We can see from the story of Abraham, tithing is a way to honor God with our possessions. Moving forward, let's delve into the purpose of tithes and offerings. In the Bible, tithes and offerings are more than a mere monetary transaction. They're a spiritual act, a way of demonstrating our gratitude and commitment to God and His work on earth. Start with tithes. The practice of tithing, which involves giving a tenth of our income, is clearly laid out in the book of Numbers. In Numbers 18:21, it says, "I give to the Levites all the tithes in Israel as their inheritance in return for the work they do while serving at the tent of meeting." This passage establishes a divine order. The tithes we give are used for the upkeep of the church and to support those who have devoted their lives to ministering to the spiritual needs of others, the pastors. Now let's turn our attention to offerings. Offerings, unlike tithes, are not a fixed percentage of our income. They are given out of free will, often above and beyond the tithe. The book of Acts provides a wonderful example of the impact of offerings. In Acts 10:4, an angel tells Cornelius, "Your prayers and gifts to the poor have come up as a memorial offering before God." This verse emphasizes that our offerings can support the needy, furthering the work of the church and making a tangible difference in our communities. Yet the purpose of tithes and offerings is not just about monetary support. They are an acknowledgement of God's sovereignty over our lives and a way of expressing our trust in Him. When we give, we are essentially saying, "God, we recognize everything we have comes from you, and we trust you to provide for our needs." In essence, our tithes and offerings serve dual purposes. They are an act of worship to God and a means to support the church and the less fortunate in our society. The script provided does not contain any mentions of priest or clergy, to be changed to pastor. In conclusion, tithing and giving offerings are integral parts of our Christian faith. We've journeyed through the biblical understanding of tithing, explored its purpose, and reflected on the blessings it brings. More than just a monetary contribution, it's an act of faith, obedience, and worship. A tangible expression of our gratitude to God, acknowledging that everything we have comes from Him. Tithing and offerings, then, are not just about fulfilling a religious obligation. They're about cultivating a generous heart and an attitude of gratitude, about investing in the kingdom of God and participating in His work on earth. Hope that this understanding transforms your perspective and inspires you to embrace this practice with a joyful heart. You for joining us today. You found this video insightful. Please like, share, and comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe for more enlightening biblical teachings. Your giving is a testament of your faith and love for God. Stay blessed.